7th championship and the 3rd one as a Yokozuna. And, like in 2014, he wasn't able to produce the grand numbers that a Yokozuna must be. At least 12 wins.
Well, with Kako, it mentally as well, it's hard to get up for it every time, but he'll pick up maybe a couple more.
But he also had that fractured
right.
bone around his right eye in September, so...
But this fight now that's coming up, this is the one that I want to pound my soapbox about today.
Takayasu. The man, 24 years old, and he's also... he was a Kushotoko last year. He'll face Kakuryu. And John, we were talking in a pre-broadcast meeting that they have many similar points, right?
Yep, so my point is Takayasu is Kakuryu just 4 years behind.
Okay.
If you were to take a look, obviously physically they're almost exactly the same. They're almost the same height, they're almost the same weight. And if I were to say to you that Takayasu will be Yokozuna in 4 years, a lot of people would dismiss that and say, no, he may maybe get Ozeki if he's lucky at some stage. But then if you look at Kakuryu's career at exactly the same point, go back 4 years and Kakuryu has almost exactly the same career path and wins a few special prizes and runner-up. Not much in the lower divisions, just one win in the lower divisions, and Kakuryu just took off. And when Kakuryu took off, and with his Ozeki run, a lot of people thought it was a fluke. He was just strung a few basho together, and then he seemed to revert back to his normal style. And then all of a sudden, he gets a Junyusho and a Yusho, and he's a Yokozuna. And Kakuryu does this thing where it takes some time to adjust to each level. And I think Takayasu is very, very similar. Takayasu hasn't come near maxing out his potential yet. If you were to pick the one dark horse that could be the next Yokozuna, I'd pick Takayasu. Why not? He has the same ability that Kakuryu has. There's nothing that Kakuryu has looking at their sumo from the beginning that Takayasu doesn't have. And he has gradually improved, and his defense has gotten better, and the potential is there. He's young. He's one of the guys who's born in the 1990s. Age is on his side.
I think he was the first one from the Heisei era to make Singapore.
Yeah, and he handed Hako his only loss last tournament, and Hako was on form. The greatest Yokozuna props of all time was on form, and the only guy who could beat him was Takayasu. And he's beaten Hamafuji.
So after those two wins, against two Yokozunas, and when I was at the Soken at the end of the year, Takayasu was called up by Hakuho. He was designated by the Yokozuna, for Keiko at the YDC Soken. But, he was panting at the end. Hakuho wanted him to get better, and I can really see that.
Yeah, they don't choose Rikshi down to potential. If the Yokozuna singles you out for training, that means that he respects you, or he thinks that, you have it in you, so...
Even in the provincial tours, he was always up on the dohyo with one of the three Yokozunas for sure, and that's because they believe that he's one of the guys to come up next, right?
Yeah, he has it in him. We won't know, obviously, until it happens, whether he brings it out or not, but just look at them. They're mirror images of each other, I think. They're just a 4-year difference. Kakuryu now, though, is, of course, in a totally different place. He's obviously a Yokozuna. He's going to be getting married. He's going to have a child on the way. So, yeah, I'm sure he really, really wants to get that first Yusho as a Yokozuna. He doesn't want to retire as a Yokozuna that never took a tournament victory. And I'm sure, knowing the personality that he has, the stress he's building, even though outside pressure is off, especially with the good record last time, but internally I'm sure he's churning and dying to get that first tournament win,
So one before the Musubi no Ichiban. Takayasu on the left, trying to get something out of the Yokozuna. And a quick Hatakumi by Takayasu, but now he slips. Kakuryu stays in. He gets that Tsukiyodoshi thrust down win. So only a few seconds there, but a lot of technique.
Yeah, and there's, they just mirrored each other in what they did as well. They might be a little bit of a weak point in their game, that slapping or putting down, or just going for the power move. But Kakuryu is at a more advanced stage. So he just has a little bit of an edge. He was able to stay on his feet when Takayasu tried the technique. So yeah, we'll see here from the get-go, they both come in. Takayasu tries to pull him down, but Kakuryu has the balance. And then when it's his turn, his timing is just a little bit better and he moves to the side just a little bit quicker. Yeah, but you know, I mean, you're looking at them.
Yeah, just like you said, they're mirroring what they did.
They mirror, yeah. There's so many similarities. There are so many similarities between these two guys that the more I research it, the more I look into it, I think, yeah, Takayasu, he could end up being Yokozuna, you know?
You're 2-2, huh, John?
Get back to me in 4 years. Oh, I'll be back on here. Once he's promoted, I'll demand to be on with you, you know?
Okay.
I won't forget that.
Yep.
If he isn't promoted, I won't forget it.
Kakuryu gets that win against Takayasu. And we have a report from Miki.
Yeah, Tachaza spoke to